delivery day yesterday. It was nice. Went to go see some friends, which was good just to get out for a second, you know. My COVID lockdown, should we say. Anyway, yes, so the intercooler cores finally made it. The lead time was what they said, so I didn't really complain too much. So basically we have now roughly 16 by 9 inch cores, 2.5 inches thick. We're going to pair them up, weld them together, so we'll basically have a 5 inch thick core. They're just thrown in for the moment just for aesthetics and just to give me some idea on how we're going to design the end caps. But yes, they're in. We do have the cores. Now they're sat on the floor at the moment. They'll be lifted up an inch off the floor because there's room for that. So this won't impede too much airflow. We're going to probably end up trying sealing them onto sealing the air onto there. The front air will be kind of an end cap, so we'll restrict it a little bit. But so yes, nice to have the turbos back on to give you some reference. Yes, the turbo on the other side isn't too bad. This side, unfortunately, just purely by its own design, obviously because they're not mirrors. The outfeed of the snail for the intake is inconveniently. If I come up, it gets too close to the bodywork. If I come right over the top, it gets very close to all the catches and all the stuff here. So we're going to have to run it down like that, cut the end off, and put a 90 degrees so it'll come back to the end cap we're going to make here. So whether we CNC a billet end caps for either end of the intercooler or fabricate one up, I don't know yet. We're going to drop the intercoolers off at some point, probably to Chris's, and get the pair of them welded together. Find out exactly how he wants the overlap on the ends made before I make them up. But like I said, this one we're going to have to cut the end off of here and put a 90 to get it to the back here. That one's a little bit tighter. On this side's a little bit nicer, purely just the orientation of the turbo. So you can imagine this is there. We'll probably just cut this off and put a 45, and it'll come straight to the back here. So that one's this one's a little bit nicer, but purely the fact that they aren't mirrors. There is a little bit of a tweak got to do with the exhaust. This is I'm not happy with how one of the pipes touches here, but we're going to tweak that, and then I can reintroduce my mount for the intake side. Obviously they've got twin expansion joints on the 402, so there is some flexibility to basically allow me to sort of give this some form of mounting to the chassis, so it's not leveraged out from the engine and just hanging there and wanting to snap. So basically give the manifold a little bit more help. Yes, nice to get the turbos back on, to be honest. Just to yes, without them it kind of looks a bit empty. So there is some minor complications on this side, obviously, because we've got the water returns from the radiator up front. So it's another modification to the fuel tank. Packaging is king, as they say. I am trying to cram a lot in, so previously water pipes have gone around this bulkhead and into the tank. That's what I've done on the CAD design, but I think it's just going to get in the way of the end cap to the intercooler. So it's very tempting now to take the coolant pipes through the corner of here, which presently obviously is fuel tank. So I'm probably going to have to take a 2-inch diagonal section off the fuel tank to allow me to get the coolant pipes in. Probably going to lose 2 or 3 litres out of the tank, which is a bit of a shame. we'll still be 20 gallons. So well, actually way more than 20 gallons US, 20 gallons European. So yes, packaging is fun. Obviously the other side's not too bad. I've got both of the water pipes coming on this side because it's a double pass radiator, so they're both on the one side. That's not so bad, so that side we don't have as much complications with the water pipes. We just have to worry about the intercooler. This side has the added complication of intercooler 2.5 inch pipe, 2 1.5 water pipes, and the fact that we want to put the oil tank between the bulkhead. Basically between this plate here and there we've got roughly 4 inches. Take away a 1/2 inch for clearance gaps and the rear bulkhead. So we've got about a 3.5 inch gap to put our tank in, we can put a circular pot at the top of the oil tank just to give it some rotational, but obviously due to the fact that the oil pump has a air scavenge unit on it, we don't need as big a sort of swirl and baffled oil tank as most dry sump systems do, so we can run a reasonably small oil tank. Oh, and there's somebody phoning on Skype. Oh well, they can wait. Yes, so here's the packaging. So yeah, literally got a 2.5 inch charge pipe, an oil tank and 2 water pipes. Gonna go in this 4 inch space. Yeah, 4 inches, that's it. But we will conquer it. We will definitely conquer it. So the charge pipe's going to run up. Basically, I have to run up on the inside here, so it's probably going to come round and then come vertically up here to get over to the intake manifold. Do the same on the other side. Just get just into the engine bay and then come up. It's 2.5 inches, so I can still get stuff in front of that, so I can still run cables and whatever else along the bulkhead, fuel lines, etc., etc. Fuel pumps are probably going to be, yeah, kind of above the alternator. Oh well, there's not much I can do about that. It's going to be over that side, so it'll be mainly water this side, and the main high pressure fuel lines will be on that side. But yes, the packaging fun. Normally aspirated engines are way easier, less plumbing, just the exhaust. So that would be, the V10 car would be a lot easier to do in that respect. Albeit the V10 car doesn't have 4 inches at all. V10 car is actually going to be in the bulkhead. Raises its own problems, I'm sure. But anyway, yes, so we're on that. So rear clip is ready for moulding. Ready for the gel coat spray to mould from. I'm waiting for the gel coat at the moment, which is a real pain because it's been a month now. If I'd known it was going to be that long, I'd have ordered the thing. I'm actually going to end up ordering the tooling materials probably this week, because if it takes a month, then I'm going to need them pretty soon. We've sealed in the ducts for the radiator exit, obviously yet again, so we can spray this and we can make the tooling off of this. So you don't want any holes, apertures, so like the vents, the headlamps, the duct vents here, this particular sealed surface, which will eventually be the air intake. So the cabin all has to be sealed off just to make them moulds. We have dropped in the cabin exit air reverse knacker ducts for the doors. Let's just put that one down for a sec. So basically we'll have air intake coming from here, and then we've got twin exit air vents, one on either door either side, basically to pull any stale air out of the cabin. Oh, she's pretty insistent. Heather, your mum's calling. She's on the mower, she's never going to hear me. But yeah, we need to get some fresh air through the duct, so we'll have a behind the duct that's on the center of the clip, we'll basically have a vent that'll come through here, and then I'll put a flap into that vent and we'll solenoid it. So basically, if you don't want any external air, you can shut that off and you can run the AC to get it cold, say like on a hot day. But if it's a moist, wet day for whatever reason, you need to obviously open that vent, still run the AC if you want, but basically try and stop the windscreen from fogging up on the inside. This actually is a Lexan racing screen. The glass laminate is upstairs. That actually has a internal fog, anti-fog coating. It also, obviously being Lexan, has a high strength anti-scratch coating on the outside, basically so you can run windscreen wipers off of it. But if you've ever driven in something that's kind of got that much of a rake on the screen, I can't think of the name of the thing, there's a Rain-X, so you coat that with Rain-X, pretty much other than just massively torrential rain, it clears the screen virtually without the windscreen wiper. But try it, it's fun. But yeah, the car really isn't designed for torrential rain anyway, so you won't be going too fast, not with 1,000 horsepower rear wheel drive and not much weight. Pouring with rain, not a good idea. But anyway, yes, so that's the progress at the moment. Not a huge amount on the actual bits, just a lot of sanding, a lot of detail sanding to get this blend correct. So effectively the radius that is here continues to there and then slowly blends to a bigger radius and sort of blends out there to try and get this perfectly flat, those flat. There's a little bit of low spots here which I've just added up. Then we've got a block sand here. I don't know, the wife's going to disturb us with the mower. Excellent. Yes, so we're getting a lot closer. Hopefully I'll try and get the headlamp sections done, or the drop panels in the headlamps this coming week or so, but I've been pretty busy at work, so I haven't had much time to do with the car, which is kind of a shame. But yes, COVID crap has hit us at work, so basically I've ended up having to fill in for other people for a little bit, which is a shame. You know, because if you have a cold, God forbid you have a cold and you come running to work. Anyway, yes, there we go. So cause arrived, vents in, little bit by little bit. Yeah, speak to you soon.